So we are here with Frank LaNatra at the Richmond Tattoo Convention in Richmond, Virginia. Frank, can you tell everybody where you work and what shop you work at?
Sure. I'm currently down in South Florida. I work at and own Into the Woods Tattoo, and I got two shops. I have one up in Stuart, Florida, and the other one's down in Pompano Beach, kind of near Fort Lauderdale.
How long have you owned the shops?
One I've had for 3.5 years, and the main shop is a little over 7 years now.
Can you name everybody who works at the shops?
I can. First, we got my wife, Krista LaNatra, and then I got Joe Casal, who's been with me since day one, so he's been there 7 years. I have Phil Summers, Tucker, and I got my other artist, John White, who's been there only about 2.5 years. So most of my crew has been with me a pretty long time, and we're kind of tight. I got a few apprentices. And then my other shop up in Stuart, I got my partner, Joseph Melly, who's really been a godsend in helping me run that other shop. And then I have, we have our artist, Sean, and our new artist, Jeff.
Do you apprentice multiple artists at a time?
I do. I have 3 right now. One is Katie, who's been with me 40 years, but now she's tattooing. So she's still like kind of my personal apprentice assistant. My other one is Anastasia, who is just really turned out to be great and wound up being my shop manager. And now I have the newest one that we picked up about 3 months ago. And she's here, actually. Both of them are here with us.
Sean Gardner tattooed.
He was my apprentice, yes.
Now he works at Helheim.
Yes, and so did Jess Brown.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Jess Brown was with me for about 4 years, too.
That's awesome.
And then I had Jess and Sean at the same time.
Yeah. I always think it's cool that, Sean ended up at your shop, and Nick ended up at Loose Screw, which is a very similar shop.
Matt Zitman wound up with Andy Chambers and JVal at their shop. So we kind of like the trio split up and we each got one.
I thought there was only 2 guys that did the
I think there was 4 total.
I love those. I loved them when they were doing it. I always enjoyed watching them in Hell City.
So 3 out of the 4 we got split up. We each got one of them.
That's cool. So you recently opened a new shop back in December.
It was just a relocation of the original main shop.
Did you do it for expansion or?
Our lease was up, and I wanted a new location. Bought a house west, so I kind of wanted to move the shop closer to where I was going to live, and they really wanted to raise my rent extremely, so it was just time to find and build a new place. This one's a lot nicer.
It looks like the shop's very nice.
It is. Most of it was all custom built, so it's cool.
So you teach a seminar on fundamentals of character design.
Yes, sir.
Can you talk about what the seminar is about and what an attendee would expect to learn when going to the seminar?
Sure. The seminar is pretty much is in the title. It's really the fundamentals and the breakdown of how I do all my character design, and from like start to finish. And that's usually what I try to teach people, is that the foundation of everything. You can't decorate a house if you didn't build the house and the foundation first. So it's the same thing. Everybody always wants to detail and just do all this cool stuff to these characters and exaggerate everything, and they don't realize that a lot of it winds up looking strange because they don't understand the foundation and how it got built there from the beginning. So really that's what I teach them. I teach them all my techniques and all the different things I do to get from A to B.
Okay.
When's
the next time you're offering the seminar?
I'm hoping to now just do it online, so I'm not going to do this one live anymore. I'm starting to focus on my next live seminar. Will be a digital painting seminar.
Do people get that through the Into the Woods Gallery website, or do you have a personal?
No. Once I record and set up the fundamentals of character design, like for online, I'll probably be through Tattoo Smart. So you'll be able to go there, get my book with the seminar.
So you made a paint brush set through Tattoo Smart?
Yeah, it's coming out soon, and that's a character design brush set. So I'll have a brush set for character design.
I'm not sure. I was going to say, if this isn't supposed to be known, I can cut this
No, it's fine. Okay. It's fine. It's just not. It's going to come out soon, and so I'll have a seminar with them. I'll have a character brush set, and my book is on there now.
Can you talk about the process of working with Russ Abbott to do this?
Yeah, sure. I mean, Russ is fantastic. He really kind of just lets us do the work, and always gives us pointers, and we go back and forth on what would work, what won't work, and we kind of just work together a little bit on the process, but really at the same time.
Did you use any of the brush sets before making your own?
Yeah, I mean, there was a few, but I don't. This isn't so much like a painting brush set as more as it's like a stamp set where I've designed a ton of character design, like character eyes, noses, mouths, head shapes, and stuff like that, so people could kind of build their own characters and then draw around it.
Yeah,
so,
I'm familiar with what they are. They're super cool. I mean, it's interesting to see the brush sets that Russ is releasing in collaboration with the artists and how people are using them in their workflow.
Yeah.
One of the things that you do on your Instagram is that you produce full rendition photos, or full rendered photos, drawings, I'm sorry,
Right, yes.
of your tattoos, and then grayscale versions and line work.
Right.
Do you do that for all your tattoos?
Yeah, pretty much. My process, I spend more time painting and designing my tattoo than sometimes doing the actual tattoo itself, because then all the hard work is done.
So how long, I mean, for like a single shot piece, how long does it take you from start to finish in regards to the rendering the tattoo?
Let me see, like if you've seen the vulture piece I did yesterday, right? I think it took me probably about a day. I'd say about, you know what, in that instance it took me about 6 or 7 hours to design, draw from start to finish, and digitally paint the whole thing, and then the tattoo took me about 7 or 8 hours to do.
Do you give the client a copy of the rendered?
No.
I was just curious.
No.
So on your Instagram, you also...
Unless I made prints of it, then I'll give them a print of it if I have it,
I just thought it'd be cool, you know, like as a client, it'd be cool to have a rendered, like, you know, this is what the design was, this is what...
Well, they got the tattoo.
Yeah, I know, I know.
But sometimes, like, some of my favorites, or some that'll really work as prints, I usually make prints of, and then if I have a print of the one that I did, like yesterday, the girl that has the big squirrel on the tightrope, she came, and so I have her print there, and so I gave her a print,
So part of the renderings, you have line work. Do you have any concern with people taking line work?
That's why I stopped putting the line work in. So now if you notice, a lot of times it's just, if it is a sketch, a really rough, like my blue pencil sketch, or my really, like my underdrawing, I don't put the clean line work anymore, or I'll just do the value and the colored version of it.
I think it's cool. I like watching them just to watch your design process. But I would also be a little bit concerned because it happens.
I realized I was just making it too easy.
Yeah, it happens.
They can take the painting and trace it out themselves. You can't do much about that. But if I just give them the line work, then it's kind of like, well, I'm asking for it.
On Instagram, that if you don't want your work taken almost, you're just
don't put it.
Just don't post it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, though,
it's going to happen.
Your portfolio.
Yeah, but honestly, I know it's going to happen. It's happened so many times before, and at this point, kind of over it. It's not much you can. Yeah, and that's it. And they'll never be the original, so it really doesn't matter.
Outside of tattooing, you do character designs for other projects. Can you talk about the projects that you're doing them for?
Sure. There's a couple. Right now, I'm working on putting together my own kind of like animated series and podcast story. So, and it's my own world that I've been working on. Me and one of my artists at the shop, we've been working on writing it together, and I've been doing all the character design, the environmental design, the concept art for it. And so hopefully within the next year or so, things will start to come, it's already coming together. So now we're on the next step. We're working with an animation company and all of that stuff. So it's cool. It's what I always wanted to do. I was doing character design for this vending company too, for a little bit, which I can't talk too much about, but it was really cool to design all this kind of futuristic robot characters for animation and stuff. So,
outside of tattooing and drawing, is there anything else you really enjoy doing? I mean, what are your hobbies outside of tattooing?
I always loved video games, but I don't have much time to do that anymore. So sometimes I play my mobile games on my phone. I don't know, the older I got, the less stuff I found I enjoyed, and sometimes I just enjoy my downtime and my relaxed time to just sit on the couch and watch TV or something like that.
Over the last couple of years, you've kind of scaled back from conventions a little bit more?
Yeah.
What are your go-to conventions that you typically attend now?
Main ones are always Detroit, Motor City, did the South Show, which is a week right after Detroit, and then Hill City, Ohio. Usually the first three I do every year. This is my first time doing this show, but it's been a great time, and Jesse's one of my closest friends. So I wanted to be here to support him after 4 years. Finally.
It's a great show.
Yeah.
I came here last year and this year, and it's Jesse and Kenny both do an excellent job on the show, and it's filled with great artists and stuff for everybody.
Yeah, no, it's been a great time. And like I said, I always want to support him in anything he does. And this is finally, after 4 years, I was finally able to get out here.
So we ask this to a lot of artists.
Yeah.
As a veteran tattoo artist, do you have any advice for artists just entering the industry? Career advice, work-life balance advice?
Yeah, there's a ton of things I could say, but my biggest piece of advice that I think I always give everybody, or I tell them about myself, is that I spend 90% of my time working on practicing my drawing and my artwork. Not so much even rendering and finishing full pieces, but practicing my artwork. The most interesting thing I realized or learned in this industry is that you can never tattoo better than you can draw. So it doesn't matter how solid your technique is, how well you could put a tattoo in, how well you could saturate, how clean your lines can be. If your drawing is only so good, that's how good your tattoo is going to be. And it might not even be as good as the original drawing, because there's always that, a little bit of degradation that happens, almost like a Xerox machine, from one to the other. So your drawing and your artwork has to be stellar, and then for your tattoo to be that good. So for me, it's more important to spend all my time on my artwork. That's why I do all these full renditions, full paintings before I do the tattoo. Get all my mistakes out, get all my quirks out, and know that this is what I'm happy with, and so I know my tattoo will turn out well. So that's my biggest piece of advice. As far as balancing, that's something me and Jesse have always had issues with, is balancing work and home life. And I think the older I get, the more I'm starting to realize that I want to focus more on projects of passion, like animation and stuff like that. And that's how I'm finding the balance, doing stuff that I felt I missed out on for
Makes sense.
a long time.
Do you have any artists that you feel like are flying under the radar that should be getting a lot more recognition? Besides the guys that you all work with?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't been too much up to date on many of the up and coming artists and stuff. It is. There's so many nowadays. At one time, we were all at the shows together and we knew each other. I mean, I remember when I was up and coming, and all the guys that were up and coming with me, it was like, we knew it was a small crew, because you had the original guys that were there and helped you get to where you are, and now it's just multiplied by like 10,
Instagram
20.
really opens
It's
it up.
crazy, yeah. So it's hard to keep up. And lately I've been focusing more on concept artists and illustrators and animators, so I could direct my, just get better at what I'm trying to do with my art.
Richmond actually just introduced me to a bunch of concept artists like Gary, I'm going to mispronounce his name, but Villarreal.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw him outside.
Yeah, dude, that guy kills it.
Yeah.
And he is incredibly nice, and just his detail in his work is insane. There's
so many talented artists outside of the tattoo industry, and for the last few years, I've been focusing on following them. So at one time when I was starting out, or not even starting out, when I was becoming a part of the industry with all the up-and-comers and all of that, my main focus was studying the artists that were in the industry and learning the stuff they were doing and try to kind of emulate that. And I realized all I was doing in the end was my work was starting to look like theirs, and so I was just regurgitating the same stuff that was in the industry. And so eventually I started looking outside the industry to learn from and grow and change my work, and it helped me bring new stuff into the industry as opposed to just looking like everybody else. And so that's another piece of advice. Study outside of the industry you're in, so you bring something new and not just become another one in the mix. Yeah.
So, remaining part of 2019, do you have any plans,
This is my last show for the year, so I'm going to just get back to work on projects, hopefully start working on my new digital seminar that I want to start doing, work on my animation project. I have a lot of work to do on that. Just get back to running my shops. And
if anybody's interested in tattooed by you, what's the best way to reach out to you?
Probably right through my website. If you go there, I have booking forms and stuff like that, so you just do that, and one of my assistants will grab it. And
cool. So I appreciate you taking the time to sit down and talk with us.
This has been great. No, it was cool.
We're huge fans of your work. I love seeing you at conventions. You're always incredibly nice to us. And I love seeing stuff produced by you and everybody at your shop. So
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Man. Appreciate it.